few years ago, I used to love playing Toad Road and Mario Kart Custom Tracks. Can you speedrun it for me?
For those who don't know what's going on, hi, my name is TheOriginalJim. I do speedrunning challenges my subscribers leave for me in the comments. And if you look at this and you're like, whoa, this is Toad Road? This is the challenge we get from Slayer? First off, I understand if you're thinking of a completely different Toad Road, because the Toad Road that I'm thinking of prior to this is the Mario Party 9 Toad Road map, and I even did a video on that. But this is Toad Road. It's created by C-Powered Blue, a custom track creator, and we're watching the ghost as my capture did not end up actually capturing the real footage. So we're watching the ghost run of this. We are on lap number 3, and we are taking the long way around. When I say the long way around, there are 2 different paths on this track that you can go. The long way has you going down the entire word Toad. You go to the bottom of Toad, you got to do some hops, as we see right here. But then the other path we're going to get to later, and that is what I'm going to say took 5 hours for me to actually complete. And I did something you probably don't want to do in modern speedrunning, and that is switching vehicles constantly. You're going to see throughout this challenge that there's going to be a lot of fails, a lot of failures that came out of this. And that is why this was one of the toughest tracks. And at the end of the video, I will call out Mario Kart Wii Speedrunners to see if they can do it better than me. Alrighty, as you can see here, this is the second attempt with Toad in the jet bubble. The first attempt is the ghost of 1 minute and 40 seconds. And this one, you could see we're off to a great start as we take the top path, the path that's a lot quicker than going all the way to the bottom. And we are on the jet bubble with Toad. We are 6 seconds ahead. This one was pretty good for an attempt, I will not lie. We started off very strong, and then that happens. We just bonk, and now we are going into lap number 3. Look, this was an interesting attempt. I will not lie to myself. Even though we are 8 seconds ahead, we go a couple of times towards the top, but because I lost the mushrooms, I wasn't comfortable and I wasn't happy with trying to do something a little crazy as going to the top route. I felt like I needed another mushroom, which is why I went to the bottom route. And as you could even see with the ghost, because the ghost wasn't even great for a very first attempt, we are way ahead. But then something like that happens, and that happened a lot throughout my entire time of trying this track. Something about this section here I just didn't understand when I was driving, and it led us to, I believe it's 1 minute and 28 seconds.
And hey, look at that. We got a brand new personal best of a jet bubble 15-second lap.
Now you can see this is the third attempt. We're neck and neck with the ghost that we just raced of 1 minute and 28, and we are less than a second ahead. But then we fell into the O. And if we didn't fall into the O, we would take the horrific launch right there that would lead us sideways every single time. Happened fail after fail, time after time. And then sometimes we would just get it. Sometimes we would just get it and land on the O. I was always shocked when that would happen. Now it's still neck and neck with the ghost. We're barely ahead. Barely, 256 milliseconds. But nope, we're just gonna bonk. And if we didn't bonk, it was that. And that would happen a lot more, and it was a lot more common than you would think. And right here, all I did was hit the bump, ended up sideways, and I couldn't believe that I landed on the top part of the O, that I just couldn't align myself properly, and I fell. And one of the most irritating things about running this track is that I would always end up sideways like this if I just didn't do it properly. Meaning, I was going to go sideways and I didn't have enough time to align myself or even hit the jump. But sometimes I would just false start. And if I wasn't false starting or doing anything terrible to hurt my reputation in the world of speedrunning or the speedrunning community, I was running laps faster than you could say awooga. And right here, we were just under a second here, and we bonk. It's just standard practice. What are you talking about? It's me we're talking about. I'm not Logan. I'm not the greatest speedrunner of all time. But you know who I am. I am a man who cannot back down from a challenge, and especially if it's one of my subscribers, I am going to let them enjoy a beautiful video and show them all the things that went wrong. I'm not going to just show them the beautiful perfection run that we have at the very end of the video, I'm going to talk through the entire process. And that is exactly what we're doing here with this 1:15 lap. We're 5 seconds ahead. We run the first 3, or I should say 2.5 laps perfect. Now we are running the first 3 laps perfect. It feels like the greatest attempt that we're going to have, but you know, it's me. A 19-second ahead doesn't mean anything. We get bogged because we end up off of that little ramp, and it just wasn't a great attempt. And look at that. That is what I'm telling you when I say I was a little hesitant in the very beginning without a mushroom. You can just fall like that. It just happens, especially if you're not good. So then I have to go all the way around. You know, we do the A all the way to the D, and then we go all the way up to the top of the track, hitting the final few seconds, and 1:15. Look, it ain't horrible. It's better than the 1:40 we had. And at the same time, 13.753 for a second lap is pretty amazing. I ain't gonna lie, that's a really good lap.
Now, real quick, let's have a little heart-to-heart Q&A. If you lowered your time from 1:40 to 1:15, would you either A, take a quick break and watch the next Mayro video, B, continue forward with this entire process because you don't want to let your viewers down, or C, you switch to the Quacker?
Yeah, I switched to the Quacker. I really thought this was going to be a great idea. I thought that I was going to take better lines, but holy crap, I jumped really high in the air, and then I was still going 90 degrees sideways. The Quacker ended up with some very hilarious and what in the world type of runs did we have with it. We fell a lot more than we did any other vehicle, whether it is shown in this video or not. I'm pretty sure when it comes to the attempts that we had, we fell about 90% of the time with the Quacker. I just really thought that it would be a better vehicle. I thought I was going to be able to make better turns, take better lines, maybe even go a little bit faster. I can't give you a real reason. I just decided to switch. I don't know why, but that was happening a lot. It doesn't matter what vehicle we were always going to hit that bump and go sideways, falling off. I decided to go the bottom route just for fun. That didn't work either. And no matter what we did, if we really were doing a real run, if we cared a lot with the Quacker, that would happen more times than we wanted it to. I was really furious. I just didn't like this track. I felt like using Funky Kong in Flame Runner or Funky Kong with the spear was cheating, so using Toad on something called Toad Road, it made a lot more sense to me, you know, than any other character in the game. But at least from time to time we had some decent type of runs with the Quacker. Like, look at this, we're actually finishing a lap. I can't believe it, everybody. We finished a lap with the Quacker, 15 seconds, and then look at this. Unreal. We have a chance to finish two laps, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. I'm speechless at this point. Wow, 13 seconds, actually a really good, and then we bonk. I'm not gonna lie, the Quacker was just an attempt. It wasn't good. It ranks at the bottom of the 4 vehicles that we tried. I don't recommend it if you ever were to play this track. At least that is cool. Nope, then we bonk again. Here we just decided to switch to the Magic Cruiser. I thought that would be a better option than the Quacker. I just thought that maybe, even though it was a minute and 40 is what I ran it with, maybe I could do a better job. Sometimes crazy stuff like that would happen, but you know, all the standard, all the usual, hit the ledge, hit the bonk, fall off the track, get paranoid, get pissed off, go, oh, this is pissing me off, oh, what the hell? And you know, occasionally we would actually run the track with a Magic Cruiser. Occasionally, not all the times, because 99,000,000% of the times we bonk. And it was so frustrating that I quit. After sitting in silence for about 15 seconds, I decided to go and switch to the bullet bike. I thought this one was going to be the best one at the end of the day. It was either going to be this or the jet bubble, and I was going to have to go back to the jet bubble. But it was all the standard stuff that we've gone over throughout the video. You start, you take a little bit of a drift, and then you either pray that you get it right, or you pray that you're not going to fall off, but in reality you're going to fall off more times than not, especially if you're not paying attention to how you actually run this track. More times than not, as I keep mentioning, sideways, sideways, sideways. It's the same old repetition. Keep on getting pissed off. But I'm telling you, I just felt it with the bullet bike. That's why we pushed through. I actually had more attempts getting to lap 2s with this vehicle than I did any other vehicle. You might say that it would happen if it was reversed order, if the bullet bike was first, and for some reason the jet bubble or the quacker was last. Maybe I would have got to lap 2 or lap 3 a lot more, but I was feeling it a lot more. I was a lot more comfortable with this vehicle. Didn't matter how it ended up. Didn't matter if I was falling and using my mushrooms, or if I was just bonking off the top of the O. I just had more confidence using this vehicle than others. And as you can see throughout the entire time of the bullet bike, there's more times where on lap 2 or even lap 3. Like, to me, I couldn't believe it when we made it to lap 3, because that just blew my mind, my expectations and all this stuff, because I was so defeated throughout the entire time of doing this. And just to let you guys know, this was 4 hours and 45 minutes into doing this run. I was so defeated. I was pissed off. But luckily, this run happened.
Oh my god, after 5 hours we did it. 4 times, 140, 128, 115, and 56.854, baby. Calling out these speedrunners right here. I have a feeling you can't do better than that.